celebration of life. Get your daily balances. Kim Jacobs comes your way. We're here to open your eyes, making your day great and your life even better. Say, oh, daily balance. Get your daily balance. Daily balance. Get your daily balance with Kim.
Hello, welcome to Daily Balance. How's everybody doing today? As most people know, I am a huge advocate of networking. On today's program, we're going to discuss exactly what that means, how it works, and its benefits. You're going to meet 4 leaders dedicated to helping you build your business through the power of networking. The chairman and CEO of Fraser Net is here, Mr. George Fraser himself. Also, the founder of Watchful Network, Mr. Tyrone Smith. But first, representing the ladies in the business world are 2 of my favorites, the chief marketeer of SLD Unlimited, Sheree Demao, and the executive managing director of eWomen Network, Lori Dvorak. Yes, I'm glad you ladies are here. How are you?
Great to be here.
Glad to have you,
Wonderful.
Sheree and
Thank
Lori.
you.
And you know, well, you all don't know, but I'm a part of the eWomen Network with these young ladies, and it is such an honor to have you here on Daily Balance today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
for
It's
having
our
us.
pleasure.
You're the managing director, so I'm under your leadership. So
Yes, you are, Kim.
I love being an eWomen Network. Tell us a little bit about the organization.
Well, first of all, I'm very excited to be part of the organization. I've been in it for 5 years, and eWomen Network is the largest women's marketing and networking organization in all of North America. They have over 20,000 members throughout Canada and the United States. And so we have chapters everywhere.
Yes.
I oversee the chapter, the greater Charlotte region chapter.
Yay, that's
in North
funny.
Carolina, and that's what we're all a part of, and it's just exciting. But it's an opportunity for women to reach out, get connected, and get the support from each other, as well as be representing their businesses at our events.
That's right. And what's the philosophy, so everyone knows, behind eWomen Network?
Well, this is what drew me to the organization, because the philosophy is give first, share always.
Yes.
So when you come to an event and you have your business cards, sometimes, people are ramming them down your throat, or they're just saying, here, this is all about me. But when you and I would meet, I would say, Kim, tell me about your business.
Yes.
How can I help you? Those are the key words. How can I help you?
I should tell everyone that my blessing technically came from a contact at the eWomen Network. That's how I was able, just by sharing my dream and my goals and my visions about being a television talk show host, I met a person during one of the speed round networking sessions, and that person connected me to some great people that used to help with the old Jim and Tammy Faye Baker show, the greatest crew in the absolute world. And now I have a television talk show. At least the crew should clap, right? And I have one of the greatest, I believe, talk shows in the whole world, thanks to this wonderful crew and this vision.
Absolutely. But that's exactly how it happens. It's
Yes.
a success story, and that's how it builds from there. But I think people have to, and women particularly, just have to know you have to get out there and start making those connections.
That's right.
Especially if you're an entrepreneur. It can be lonely out there by yourself or in your office every day. But when you're connecting, you get girlfriends to connect with, you get their
Yes.
support, but then you get all of their resources that they know to help you.
That's right. And Sheree, so many phenomenal things about you. I mean, you're part of eWomen Network, but then you're an author of Me, Myself, and Inc.
Yes.
And I definitely want to talk more about that. But what about all of the women that are in this business world today? What are some of your philosophies surrounding that?
Well, I don't think people realize how many women are really in business. There are over 10 million women in business in the United States alone. And almost half of all businesses are owned by women. And women's businesses are growing twice as fast as any other type of businesses. So we are here to stay. There is no doubt
We're
about
not
it.
going anywhere.
And one thing that we do extremely well is networking.
Yes.
Absolutely. We are actually teaching men a few things, as a matter of fact.
Oh, that's right. That's a high five moment on my show. Finally, the women, we're teaching some men.
We actually have a couple of men come to our events.
Oh, no,
They
you know
sneak
what?
in.
yeah.
They sneak
Seriously,
in.
that's the funniest thing in the world.
They
We have
see we've got
eWomen Network, and then now we have like a few e-men that come. And
We
we're
call
like,
them our emails.
Oh, our
Yeah,
emails.
yeah.
We try to
eWomen
make them feel
emails.
comfortable, right?
Yes, we do.
What do you think some of the benefits are of networking versus just going out on your own?
Well, there's so
Yeah,
many.
there's so many things.
You start.
Well, I think networking, quite frankly, should be just a way of life.
That's
quite
right.
frankly,
That's
it really
right.
should be a way of life because we're trying to create not only a network of influence, but a network of support, a
Yes.
network of resources. It just goes on and on and on. And so, what makes it so powerful for business is that you aren't alone. No matter which way you turn, no matter which direction you're headed, you've got somebody there that can help you get there.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And you all network a lot yourselves. So
Yes.
what are some of the ways that you two personally network with each other?
Well, I have to admit that I tried several things before eWomen Network.
Yes.
And what I think is really important is for everybody to have a goal in mind for what they want to achieve through the networking and the marketing that they're going to be doing for their business. Then there's so many wonderful organizations out, but it may be that you join or are part of an organization to reach different parts of your business and the goals that you have. And I wanted to just market my business. I wanted to build my business.
And what is the name of your business so people are aware of it?
Envision 4 Incorporated, and I'm a success coach and certified trainer.
And you do free sessions. You do fresh sessions with people, a coaching session to help them determine what their needs are, because you do a very effective job.
Well, thank you. And I usually give a sample coaching session so people get an idea because they get a little nervous about being with a coach and what's involved with it. And actually, when my members come on board, I give them a 30-minute session to help them learn how to network because we don't know what to say when we're in front of someone.
That's right.
You go, oh, my name is, and then you start, you don't know what to say. And I thought, this is when you have only a few minutes to really get out
that
what
elevator
you're about.
speech, right?
Exactly, and it has to be clear. And so I work with people and give them a session.
Envision for Success.
Yes.
And you can visit dailybalancewithkim.tv to learn more, and we'll be able to direct you right to Envision with the number 4 for success.com. So we'll be able to direct you there. And also you, Sheree, you're the author of Me, Myself, and Inc., a new book, A Synergized World and an Energized Business, Living Your Ultimate Life.
Yes, yes.
And where can people get more information about your book?
They can go to the website, www.memyselfandinc.com, and also Barnes & Noble and Amazon.com.
Yay!
Yes. Yeah.
Congratulations. That's another high five moment.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies, for coming and networking with me today. Don't go away. We'll be right back with more. We'll talk with the founder and president of Watchful Network, so stay with us. Thank you.
Daily Balance with Kim Jacobs is sponsored in part by the Rock Worship Center, Church of God in Christ, located at 1113 Fordham Road, Charlotte, North Carolina. The Rock Worship Center, making disciples through evangelism, exaltation, and edification. For more information, call 704-358-4167 or visit our website at rockworshipcenter.org.
Welcome back to Daily Balance. My guest is a public speaker, a TV host, a community activist, a mentor, and the list goes on. He is the founder and president of the Watchful Network. Please welcome Tyrone Smith. Hey, Tyrone.
Hello, Kim.
How are you?
Thanks for letting me be
So
here.
glad to have you.
It's great to be here.
You're also a model. I didn't have that on my intro, but you are a model too, huh?
Yes, I am.
You're a man of many hats, huh?
I wear a few.
Yeah. You're so modest. That's so funny. You actually are the founder and the CEO of the Watchful Network.
Yes.
What is that all about?
Well, Watchful Network is a vision and a business networking group that I founded back in 1994 to give back to the community.
Excellent. And you actually have a philosophy that the power of networking is very important. When you talk about that to your organization, what do you share?
I think the power of networking is very important. A lot of times in life, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
That's right.
And it's important when you build relationships that you build one that can be sustained through mutual relationships. And a lot of things that I talk about when I deal with networking is also the importance of reciprocation as well.
And what kind of advice do you have for like young entrepreneurs that are just starting out? Because I know you've started your business a while ago. What advice do you give them?
I would say success breeds success. Is very important for you to learn from those individuals that have already created a success pattern.
Okay.
Use them as mentors, and so that way when you walk into your opportunity, you can avoid a lot of pitfalls.
Good. So any takeaway points you want to share as a mentor, because people come to you a lot for advice? Any takeaway points you want the audience to be aware of?
Yeah, absolutely. I would suggest it doesn't matter how much you earn in business. It's very important that you give back to your community as well. And that was the vision behind the Watchful Network. I earn my living in real estate, but the Watchful Network is a community initiative to give back.
And where can people learn more about the Watchful Network?
They can visit our website at www.watchfulnetwork.net.
You put some bass in your voice when you said that. That's funny. That's a high five
That's
moment.
profound.
That's your profile. And it's www.thewatchfulnetwork.com.
www.watchfulnetwork.com.
www.watchfulnetwork.com. And you can also visit dailybalancewithkim.tv to learn more about the Watchful Network. You also have a monthly television program?
Yes, we do a lot of things through the Watchful Network. Every year during the month of February in celebration of Black History Month, we do a business expo. It's a free event that we open to the public.
That's right.
We have a monthly membership meeting that we do, and also have a local television show that I host called The Watchful News.
Excellent. Well, I wish you the very best, and thank you so much for stopping by the Daily Balance studio.
And thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Oh, yes, yes. Don't go away. We'll be right back with George Fraser. Yeah, thank you so much.
Daily Balance with Kim Jacobs is sponsored in part by 5 Links. 5 Links is committed to being in the forefront of the telecommunications industry and offers products and services throughout the United States and worldwide. Services include Global Links digital phone, cellular services, satellite TV, high-speed internet, Global Links Wi-Fi phones, and 5 Links home security. For more information, call 1-800-575-4021 or visit our website today.
I'm delighted to introduce one of the foremost authorities on networking and building effective relationships, the chairman and CEO of FraserNet, Mr. George Fraser. Hey, George, high five. We'll start right off with a high five. How's everything going?
Good. Great.
Good. I'm
Good to be
so
with
glad to have you here.
My pleasure.
And you know what? I actually met you, well, for everyone that's around, I met George Fraser about 15 years ago.
Right.
And that was a powerful moment in my life.
Right.
And I really want everyone to know because you we had this networking, it was a networking house party type of thing. There was 10 couples in Washington, D.C. And we had one author come in, the author of Success Runs in Our Race.
Right.
And it was George Fraser, you.
Right.
And when you came in and you talked to us regular, ordinary people doing just one job at the time, we were all working our 9 to 5 and going home. We were like, what are we doing? We have to get busy. Life is passing us by. Time is ticking. And here you came in and changed our lives.
Well, it was a very special moment for me. I had just written my book, Success Runs in Our Race, and which really defined networking, specifically in the African-American community. And basically, as I define networking, I believe that networking is the identification and the building of relationships for the purpose of sharing information, opportunities, and resources.
That's right.
And the emphasis on that definition is on the building of relationships and sharing. Why? Because all of life is about relationships.
That's right.
All of life is about working with and through other people. In fact, there is no success that you can attain, sustain, or maintain on your own by yourself in a vacuum. In fact, I believe that the most powerful asset that you will have in the 21st century will not be your computer. I'm sorry, I don't care what you read. It will be your relationships, right?
That's right.
It will be your relationships.
Yes.
In fact, I think the key to success will be directly related to your willingness to ask people for help. And whomever you're asking for help is, in fact, your network. And as they know and as they go, you go.
Yeah.
Let me say that a little bit differently. If you're hanging out with 5s and you're a 10, pretty soon you're going to be a 5. If you're hanging out with 9 broke people, pretty soon you're going to be the 10th
You
broke
said
person,
that at that house party.
So you really have to be careful who you associate yourself with, who you hang out with, and who are your circle of friends.
And that right there made us all push to be 10s.
Absolutely.
I was like, well, I'm not going to be at the bottom of the totem pole. I tell you that right now. So now you have authors. You have one lady who's working with the Washington Post. I mean, we literally just started being on a mission. My husband and I founded a nonprofit organization that had yielded over $4 million in grant funding serving underprivileged children. We were like, we will never be the same as a result of you coming to make that impactful difference in our lives. I have a quote from you here. Anyone can succeed if they understand the importance of relationships in their lives. That relationship piece seems like it's a key thread to what you were talking about.
It is. You know, friends are critically important because it's God's way of apologizing for your relatives. So don't ever judge anyone based on their relatives. They didn't pick their relatives,
Right,
but
right.
they picked their friends. And we have to spend more time, Kim, working on cultivating, nurturing, and developing 3 kinds of networks in our life.
Yeah.
And the first network is a personal network.
Yes.
These are your close circle of friends. These are the
Okay.
people that cheer you on and lift you up. Let's
Right.
call that your network at home.
Okay.
Then
Make sure y'all are taking notes on this. I mean, he said your personal network. Listen.
Yeah.
Get
and
a
that's-
notebook. If you need to run real quick and get a notebook, get one. Go ahead.
The second network that you have to spend time building is an operational network. These are the people that help you to get specific tasks done in life, whether it's the team that you're working on at work, whether it's the team that you're working on in your church if you're a deacon or a deaconess, whether it's a team that you're working on in some special initiative in the community. But this is different than your personal network. So let's call this your network at work. And then the third and final network that you have to build over time is a strategic network. And these are the people who are smarter than you. These are the people who are where you want to be. These are the people that will drag you into the 21st century kicking,
Yes,
screaming, and
yes.
crying. These are the people who can be your mentors and coaches and your models. And we know that networking really looks like this, that someone is pulling you and you must always be pulling someone. And the
Someone
minute
is
you,
pulling
yeah,
you,
someone's pulling you,
and you should always be
must always be
pulling
pulling
someone
someone.
else. So
And the
you-
minute you break that connection
Okay.
in either direction, you have a hole in your net. And you know what happens when a fisherman gets a hole in his net? The fish get through. Too many holes, and the whole infrastructure of support breaks down. So we must spend more time working on cultivating, nurturing, and building those 3 kinds of networks at work, at home, and in the community.
Personal, operational, and strategic.
I live long enough to understand that life is really like a 3-legged stool. And
Right.
you need all 3 of the legs for the stool to stand.
Okay.
The first leg on the stool of life is education, that you must get as much education as you can afford
That's
or
why
stand.
you read 75 books, I read?
A year.
A year.
Absolutely,
And
no
that's
question
amazing.
about that.
I mean, that's the most
I
ever.
love learning.
And Les Brown
right?
reads a lot of books,
And
too.
Les Brown reads a lot
You
of
got
books.
him beat on that one.
Exactly, no question about
Okay.
that. So that's education, and once you as you get older and wiser, you will understand that life is about lifelong learning.
Hey,
that
don't
you
act
never
like
stop
I'm a baby.
learning.
Now I'm a grown woman.
No, I think you already know that.
Okay.
I think the second thing about education is that we understand that education provides us the ticket to get into the ballpark of life so that we can play in the game of life.
That's right.
But once you get into the ballpark, you will understand, or you will see 80,000 other people in that ballpark,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So while education is profoundly important, it is not enough. But you better have it or you can't even play in the game. We can say that
So
education...
you're sitting on the sideline. Because you don't have
without
what you need to even be in the game.
That's exactly right.
Educationally.
Let me say that
speaking.
differently if you're a card player.
Right.
Education, ladies and gentlemen, is table stakes.
Okay.
It gets you in the game.
Yes.
The second leg on the stool of life is marketable skills.
Okay.
The ability to convert your knowledge into a marketable skill that you can take out into the marketplace, add value, and then get an exchange for that value. If you're making $7 an hour, all you're worth is $7 an hour because you have not converted your knowledge or education into a marketable skill that has value in the marketplace that you want to get in exchange for that value.
Right.
That's the second leg on the stool of life.
So that's
and then
education, that's marketable
skills, right?
And then
the third and final leg is what we have been talking about for this show. Relationships.
Okay.
Your ability to work with and through other people. Your ability to cultivate, nurture, and develop relationships at work, at home, in the community. Your ability to lead and to know when to follow. Your
Yes.
ability to love and to like people and to have people love and like you. You see, I know people that have solid education, decent marketable skills, but the personality of a box of rocks, right? They cannot get along and work
That's
with
true.
or through anybody.
Unfortunately,
And
yeah.
these people are at the lowest rungs of every ladder in America, and they graduated from Harvard, Yale, Morehouse, and Spelman. And then I know people with modest
Not
education.
everybody, but okay, wait a minute. Not everybody from those schools are on the category. Go ahead.
No, not everyone. Not everyone.
Right.
But I'm saying education is not enough.
Not enough.
But you
right.
better have it.
That's
but it's
right.
not enough.
Okay.
So I know people with modest education, decent marketable skills,
Okay.
and superior interpersonal and people skills, right?
Yes.
Their ability to cultivate, nurture, and develop relationships at work, at home, and in the community is superior.
Yes.
Their ability to love and to like people and to have people love and like them is
Yes.
superior. Their ability to lead and to know when to follow is superior. And these people are at the top rungs of every ladder in America, and you'll work for them.
That's right. And that's just regular, general, everyday
That's right.
people, but now they've learned how to do that extraordinarily well.
That's right, which is to cultivate, nurture, and build relationships at work,
Good.
at home, and in the community. And they understand the most important principle of networking. In fact, this is the biggest mistake that we make when networking.
Yes.
We network to get something. Wrong. You network to give.
That's
and as
right.
you give, you get. You ain't giving, you ain't getting.
That's
Huh?
right.
Right?
We're doing a lot of high five
Amen.
moments.
If you have nothing, it's because you've given nothing.
That's right.
Because you cannot take out of life that which you have not put into life. Just as you cannot take out of the bank that which you have not put into the bank.
That's
and you don't have
right.
to take my word for it. Go on down to Bank of America, try to take something out of Bank of America you have not put in.
And they say
right?
you don't have anything, so you're going to yield $0. That's right.
So we network to give. In fact, in a new relationship, the first person that gives wins.
That's right.
This
That's
is the
a
goal.
big thing with eWomen Network,
That's
too.
exactly
I mean,
right.
you have to give first, not walk away with what it is that you're trying to
That's the first and
get.
foremost principle of effective networking. You give first, you share always, the getting comes later,
Yes.
sometimes much later.
That's
but
right.
you must give. Now,
Sometimes 15 years later.
sometimes 15 years
You
later.
know?
Isn't that a beautiful thing?
That's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. So 15 years ago, I gave.
You
I
gave.
sowed into 12 couples.
Yes.
And I have met, in those 15 years, 8 of those couples who've come up to me in some special kind of way and said, hey, what you poured into us some
Yes.
15 years ago in the name of networking
That's right.
has reaped this kind of benefit for humankind, for my family, and for my life, and it's made a difference.
And you didn't know. You couldn't have known because I just left you a voicemail to share with you my own
That's right.
story of how you impacted me. But what if you had never heard from me again? You would have never known that you had impacted my personal life the way you did.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about giving. It's one of the principles I talk about in my new book, Click. 10
Yes. Oh,
Truths
speaking, let me give
for
get that
building
book. It's
extraordinary
awesome.
relationships. Yeah.
Click. The
10
10 truths for building extraordinary relationships.
Yeah.
This is a great book. So you gotta get this, man.
It's a powerful book, and there's a truth in there. It's truth number 6.
Okay.
And it says, bless them and release them. What does that mean? It means that it is critical for you, all of us, to
Yes.
deliver ourselves from toxic people and bloodsuckers in our lives.
Right.
People who drive you crazy, people who drain you of your time, your energy,
right.
and your resources. This is very easy to say, very difficult to do. Why?